crime now. But I used to love the ones that are like, I survived, because in my mind, I'm like, I know that they're going to live at the end. Like, I know that. Like, you know, I survived, blank, and it's whatever. This is mine. I survived, a stalker. This is mine, okay? Because honestly, it's just like crazy things be happening. And I think it's because I'm a great storyteller, and, you know, I don't know. The two have to be related, okay? So anyways, I'm going to tell you what happened. Came back from Hawaii. It was a super early flight. Like, I think we landed like 7 a.m. And as I was like taking things out of the car, whatever, I looked over, and my neighbor across from me, our houses are pretty like separated, but I just noticed like movement out of the like corner of my eye. And I look and I see this young guy. And I noticed like he was brown. Immediately I noticed he was brown. And I say that because that family is all like white. So I know it's not like one of the family members that live there, because I know them. And so it catches my eye, and the guy is young. And I look at him and it's like, whatever. And I'm thinking like, oh, maybe like, I don't know. It's really early for them to have. Sometimes like that neighbor has like get-togethers with like his friends and stuff. So I kind of like recognize the people that go over there, and they're usually like his age, like his coworkers and stuff like that. So I'm like, oh, this is a young guy. And then my next thought is, maybe he's like a salesman, because he smiles at me, and I'm like, is he coming my way? I'm like, oh no, he's gonna try to sell me some damn solar or extermination. I'm like, shoot, maybe he's a Jehovah's Witness, right? Like, I'm thinking all these things, and he's walking over to me, and I'm like, so I don't know. I don't like people to get like too close to me. So I go and I like meet him halfway, and I'm like, hey, what's up? Like, why are you coming over here? And he's like, hey, basically it was a weird interaction. Like, he was very happy, and it almost seemed like satire, but like he was being serious. So hold on, I want to stop this and do the next part, because I don't want it to like stop me in the middle and then I lose track of what I was saying. Okay, hold on. Okay, so the guy walks up to me, I meet him halfway, and I'm like, hi, like, can I help you? He says something, I don't remember exactly what he said, but he's like, hi, I'm so-and-so. Completely forgot his name, because the other information was just so shocking. He goes, hi, I'm so-and-so. Basically, there's a stalker that you should know about. Well, good morning. I'm like, do elaborate. And so I'm just like, okay. Like, I didn't really react, but I'm like, okay, expand on that, buddy. He's like, basically, my girlfriend, and I was like, well, who's your girlfriend? What's her address? He gave me the address. I'm like, what does the house look like? Okay. Because I may forget the address, but I won't forget what it looks like. So he tells me which house is his girlfriend's or theirs, or I don't know. And he's like, basically, this guy found my girlfriend through her work. She's like, he alluded to the fact that she's like famous, or at the very least a public figure. But I also kind of got the vibe, and I could be completely wrong, that she may do some adult content as well, like spicy content. I could be completely wrong, I don't know, but I kind of got that vibe also. Anyways, he says that this random guy had followed her or something, and like caught her on the freeway, like knew where she was going to be, found her on the freeway, and was like, he was demonstrating, like driving his car, like watching her. Why she would drive home, I have no idea. So he knows where she lives now, and she is relatively new, like haven't even met her yet. And he's like, yeah, so now that guy is like parked 2 houses down from you at the end of the street, and he's been there for like a week. My first question was like, okay, well, the police, like, are they involved? He's like, yeah, her, someone in her family is like a sheriff or something. So I'm like, okay, well, And then when I thought about it and I digested it a little more later, I'm like kind of pissed off because you should have been said something. You should have been said something, right? And it's crazy because I know exactly what car it was. I was like, was it this type of car? He goes, yeah. I know exactly what car it was because I thought it was weird, okay? Even before I left for Hawaii, I saw the car. And it was a beat up ass old car, like beat, right? It had yellow tags. And I was like, when the hell was, I took a picture and I Googled, when did we have yellow registration? It was like 2015. So I was kind of like, what really like made me think something suspicious, right? Besides the fact it was a beat ass van, beat ass car, like it was just so random and out of place, but there was a man sitting in it and with just like one leg out and the door cracked. And my first thought when I saw it was like, dang, that guy must be really hot in there. Like, I wonder why he's sitting in the car when it's 105 degrees outside. And then I look directly across to where he's at, and there's like a house, and they're building out something on there. So I'm like, oh, maybe he is like working on that project, right? Because he's directly across from there, and on the side that he's on, there's nothing there. So I'm like, oh, maybe he's just taking a break and wants to just like get away. Like, I get it, whatever. So I didn't think anything of it. That day, I was gone all day, like 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, right? I come back, it's still hot as hell outside. The guy is still there in the car in the same. I'm like, and then I got weirded out because I'm like, what are the odds you're sitting in the car all day? But then I was like, I don't want to like be judgmental. And I'm like, what if he's like homeless? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people be going through stuff. Then I was like, dang, should I ask him if he's okay or anything? But then I was like, no, he's not going to think it's sincere. He's going to like, I don't know. I was overthinking it. So I was like, interesting. And I just kind of made a mental note of it and I didn't think too much of it. Whole time he's a freaking stalker. Am I wrong for thinking that they should have spoke up way earlier? What if I would have pulled up on him and he would have been like deranged, or he would have saw me and had a new fixation? Or I take my daughter on walks, I take my dog on walks, I ride my bike. Like, I sometimes even go on short walks just up down the street with my dog. If I come home at night, I still want to get him out. Am I like kind of pissed off that you should have been said that? And what makes it worse for me, like I said, is that I think there was some alluding to that she may be, also an adult content creator kind of thing, which is fine for her, but that makes it that much more scarier. Not only is there a man who is deranged enough to sit outside or try to find where someone lives and sit outside their house for a week, but also he's like a perv. That is a double scary. Like, that's a worst case scenario. So I'm like, dude, that's insane. So I have it in the back of my mind and I'm like wondering, did he go talk to my neighbors? Because I'm sus of him too. I don't trust nobody, right? I'm thinking about it, whatever. So come back from Hawaii, I see the car a couple days and then I don't see the car, but in place of that, I see another car. It's an older car still, but not as old as that. It's a Prius. So I'm like, interesting. I make a note of it, right? Next day, Prius. Okay, this is weird. Nighttime. Prius. Strange. Very strange. Right? So I'm like really uncomfortable. I am really uncomfortable. And I have a friend with me here and I'm like, let's go act like we're walking down like the street to take Pickles on a walk, and like I really want to get a picture of the license plate because I don't feel safe going to sleep. Like, I'm scared, right? And so as we're walking on the street, just acting like we're not like looking at the car, right? And I take a pic of the license plate and I text my mom, hey, we're going down the street, like I'm scared, but I don't feel safe, right? I hear like shh. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? The guy in there, like, got the little lever on the side and laid all the way back as we're, like, going by. I was like, oh no, abort mission. I did get a picture of the plate though, but I was like, I don't feel safe. We have to turn around. And then after that, oh my God, I was freaking out. I was freaking out, right? Then I texted my mom and I told her, and I was like, this guy is here in a different car. He looks just like the guy I saw the first time. And I was like, can you call the police, Mom? I asked her, I was like, I'm scared. Could you call the police, please? And so she's like, girl, you better call them. That's when that 40-minute call, I was on hold for 40 minutes. God forbid you have an emergency. 40 minutes. And they're like, oh yeah, we'll have someone on the way right now, right? They did not. I called 3 more times. You want to know why I called 3 more times? Because after that, after he saw that we saw him, he was then driving up and down in front of my house. I was like, OMG. I was like, I do not feel safe. Literally driving up and down. I'm like, oh my God. And then like, I was like, maybe it's not him. And so the next time I saw a car go by, I ran out, like after I'd passed a couple minutes, I ran out to see, and it was in fact him. I was like, oh my God. But he didn't see me. But I was like, dude, this is insane. Oh, I think I mentioned, no. I missed a step. So how I knew that he was driving by is I went out because I was like, oh, hopefully the police don't get confused with like the addresses. So I was like, let me just step out to see if I can like see them if they're down the street or something, right? Because I was like, this is around the time they said they'd be here. As I step out and I look, my heart drops. The car is creeping like this by, and I'm just like froze in the driveway, and I'm like, and then I go back inside, and then that's when I like start paying attention. I'm looking on the cameras, and then I ran back out to see if it was in fact him that was going up and down, and it was. So I was like, dude, I do not feel safe. I was so scared. Called the police 3 more times. They're like, oh yeah, we were on our way, and then something happened, and then we're on our way now. Stayed up till 4 in the morning. The police never came. Stay tuned to the next part. There's another massive twist in this story. Okay, don't freak out. He moved. He's right there. Can you see him? God. He's right. I gotta look back. He's right there somewhere. So he flies. Okay, I'm trying to finish my story and watch my back and get ready for bed because I'm freaking tired. I'm jet lagged, and I'm trying to focus on like healing my body and my mind because I have been in survival mode for the better part of a decade, and it seems like the more I heal, the less my body wants to do, even if my mind wants to keep going. Anyway, it's okay. Sorry, I'm terrified that I'm gonna turn around. He's gonna be right here. Cheers. God, that's horrible. Okay, so where did I leave off? The police never came, right? So I'm like, you know what? This is definitely the time to rally the troops. I need to know if that guy did talk to my neighbors, why they didn't say anything to me. We need a freaking neighborhood watch. And there's like security in our neighborhood, but still, like, where he at? Okay. So my neighbors are usually super proactive. Like, they usually be, hey, your gate looks a little different than the last time I saw it. You want me to check it out? I'm like, yes, absolutely, right? So I'm kind of surprised that no one's like taking this more serious. By the way, this is magnesium. Don't recommend this one. It tastes like hot Capri Sun. Not good, but whatever. I already paid for it. So I'm like, okay. So I text my neighbor and I'm like, hey. I text him at 10 at night. He's asleep, doesn't respond. He responds at 3 a.m., to which I'm up, but I didn't text him back. And so I text him the next day. I'm like, hey, are you around? I want to come by, chat. So I go by, I chat, I fill him in on what's going on. he's like shook. He's like, oh my gosh, I did think this was weird, but like, you know, I wasn't sure. So he's like, you know what? There's been another car that I saw that's like suspect. I'm gonna go talk to them. And I said, okay, do that, right? So he pulls up and he texts me and he's like, I went and I talked to this suspicious car. They said they're security. And that the car that you saw last night might be security. And I'm thinking, oh, who, like additional security? Why were they in an unmarked car? Why were they pacing in front of my house? Wouldn't you diffuse the situation, say, roll down your window, hey, no worry, ma'am, I'm just like security. It's not adding up. And they said, I said, well, who were they hired by? They said, Joy. We have a lady named Joyce in our neighborhood. So he's like, I think they meant Joyce. And, you know, Joyce is elderly, but she don't play that, okay? Like, they said that she hired them because there was some homeless people at the end of the street that she was worried about, which was probably the stalker. So I'm like, so did my neighbor, the new guy, the new neighbor, whatever, not tell anyone else about the stalker? Or like what? But that would make sense that Joyce would hire, even though she's really old. I'm like, ooh, maybe her like family hired it for her, but like how would she even see? So I was like, you know what? I'll make it a note to like stop by and ask Joyce directly just to confirm, right? But I'm like, okay, it's just a weird situation, but like, I guess. And the next day I was busy. I kind of forgot about it. And then bright and early, I get a ring on my camera, and it's a man I don't recognize. And so I never like go out to someone I don't recognize. And so I talk to him on the camera and I say, hi, can I help you? And he goes, I'm Joyce's son. Immediately I'm like, that's weird. Is he coming to like talk to me about that? He must be, right? No, he's telling me like, oh, he's talking about like, okay, sorry, this is the last part and then I'm going to sleep. He's talking about something completely unrelated. About some tree trimming service, and they might, you know, be a little bit of blockage on the street. And I'm like, okay. And I'm kind of waiting for him to say anything. He doesn't say anything. And so I'm like, okay, right. And I was in the middle of something and I wasn't like gonna go run and try to catch up. So I was like, I'll just catch her later, right? But he seemed chill, relaxed. I was like, interesting, right? Later that day, crazy day, I ended up not even having a car. So I'm standing on the street waiting for my Uber to come, take me to try to get my car, right? And a car comes down and it's the same man. And he goes, oh, hey, we're all done. That's all taken care of. And I said, oh, yeah, by the way, the security you guys hired. And he goes, what do you mean? We didn't hire any security. I'm like, no, your mom. He's like, pretty sure my mom didn't hire any security, especially not on her own. Do you want me to go and just like double check? And I was like, yeah, would you? He goes and double checks. She did not hire security. What is going on? I'm having, and my immediate thought is that this guy either went through like mailbox or did a little bit of research, or what if the guy that introduced us was like the stalker friend or something? I don't know. I almost didn't fact check. This is your sign to always fact check. Yeah, as of now, I have no updates. That was the last thing. Truly don't know where to go with this from this, but it's been crazy. So